First up, we have installing solar panels on your home is initially costly. It takes approximately 20 years to break even through reduced energy costs, but don't let this discourage you. In addition to the obvious environmental benefits of installing solar panels, they also add resale value to your home of about $20,000. Next up, the average water heater is set to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. By lowering it to the new recommended 120 degrees Fahrenheit, it will save about 500 pounds of CO2 per year. I don't know how that computes, but next up, it's actually better for the environment to fly a 40-mile trip than it would be to drive the 40-mile trip. This is assuming you're driving a 20-mile per gallon vehicle and you're traveling by yourself. Next up, not only does failing to properly maintain your car cost you extra money, but it also decreases your fuel efficiency by 4%. Next up, before painting your home, check to see if your town has a paint recycling program. Some cities have started to accept leftover paint cans for others to use. You usually just have to prove your residency. Next up, over 16 billion coffee cups are used and thrown away each year. This is equal to about 6.5 million trees. You can help reduce these numbers by switching to a reusable coffee cup. Most coffee shops will put your order in a reusable mug, and sometimes they'll even give you a little bit more. That's a good idea. Next up, you want to save money on your utility bill? Place a brick inside your top of your toilet tank and you'll save a brick's worth of water every time you flush. Next up, at urinabios.com, you can buy biodegradable urns that contain a tree seed and are designed to receive nutrients from your ashes. So when you die, you can be turned into a tree. Did you know you can reduce the flow of water on a single tap? There's a device called a tapperator that fits over any tap and helps to slow down the rate of water flow. And you can also check, we found this true for our home, there's a meter somewhere outside that tells you your pressure, your water pressure. Ours was high. It was like in the 90s, and it's supposed to be like in the 60s, so we had it reduced, and that makes a huge difference. Obviously, the 90% pressure, water was coming out hard and fast, and then 60, it was not as bad. But I like this idea of a tapperator. I think we have something like that on the shower heads. Next up, you want to stop using harmful chemicals to clean your house. Most of your day-to-day cleaning can be done with vinegar. The citric acid in citric fruits and the bicarbonate baking soda all of which are natural. Next up, although rechargeable batteries cost about 5 times more than regular batteries, the break-even point occurs after less than 2 years. After this, they'll cost the buyer less than 25 cents per year. Unfortunately, I've never been crazy about rechargeable batteries. I've never felt that the battery, after I recharged it, kept its charge. And I felt I was exchanging batteries for plugging in and charging. So in my mind, I wasn't happy with that program, but maybe it's changed somewhat. Next up, have some leftover ketchup packets from your takeout order. Throw them in the freezer to use as mini ice packs. They're the perfect size for bumps on kids and bruises, and they stay soft and form around body parts. That's a good idea. Next up, are your tortilla chips a little stale? Toss them in the oven for 10 minutes, 350 degrees, and they'll come out tasting fresh. Next up, did you know you don't need to refill your pot with water in order to cook something else? A lot of the time, you can use the same water to cook other things, like pasta water for cooking rice. Every little bit helps. I think I've done that. Next up, did you know that Pringles cans are the same size as a package of spaghetti? Save your old ones for a cute spaghetti holder. They also fit 3 tennis balls just perfectly. Next up, although it's impossible to reduce waste entirely, a good place to start in limiting it is to switch to reusable shopping bags, food storage containers, coffee cups, and straws. All of these are major contributors to landfills. Next up, if you use a bicycle for just 1 mile instead of your car, you're reducing 404 grams of CO2 from being released into our atmosphere. Next up, the fashion industry produces 1.2 billion tons of greenhouse gas emissions per year, a lot of which comes from shipping items around the globe. You can help combat this number by buying from thrift stores or local designers. Next up, stop eating bacon, eggs, and cheese sandwiches for breakfast. Factoring in the CO2 emissions of the livestock involved in producing the ingredients, along with the other emissions involved in producing and transporting them, this sandwich has a carbon footprint approximately equivalent to 1,441 grams of CO2, which is almost the same as driving your car 4 miles. Next up, many grocery stores will set close to expired foods for 50% off. Expired foods are usually still good for at least a week after the date on the package. I think we kind of knew that. Every food item's different, but we know we don't have to throw away the food right on the expiration date, right? Next up, did you know that the less your car weighs, more efficiently it runs? Reducing your car weight by 20% can increase your mileage on a tank of gas by 8%. Cut down on laundry costs by replacing your fabric softener and dryer sheets with a couple of dryer balls. Not only are they reusable, but they don't contain toxins like dryer sheets do. I've wondered about that. The scents in both the laundry soap, laundry detergent, and the dryer sheets. I think we'd be better off with less scent or no scent. I think that might be hard to enjoy laundry as much. Next up, set aside a drawer of a specific space in your refrigerator for storing the leftover condiment packets from takeout. And then you'll never have to buy a condiment again, possibly. I like the idea of ketchup for an ice pack because it doesn't get, hard like a brick of ice, but it's like a gel pack. I think that's a really good idea. Next up, when it comes to choosing light bulbs, more is not always better. For example, one 100-watt bulb produces the same amount of light as two 60-watt bulbs, except it takes 20% less energy to power. I don't know how that gets figured out. Next up, not sure whether or not you should turn your computer monitor off to save energy? The magic number is 20 minutes. If you're not going to use your PC for 20 minutes, you'll save more power by turning off the monitor. I agree. Every 5 miles per hour you drive over the 50 mile per hour, it's costing you an extra 18 cents per gallon on gas. Driving a little slower can preserve gas usage and save you some serious money over time. Speaking of gas, here in SoCal, in one day, I think it was a couple days ago, gas per gallon jumped 14 cents. I think it was the day of that suspicious gas pipe or gas or oil pipe that blew up somewhere over in Europe. That was crazy. Next up, most grocery stores have a place at the front of the store for dropping off plastic bags where they can be reused or recycled over and over. Next up, need to test a printer? Print the Google homepage, which has all the colors and uses almost no ink. That's a good idea. Finding it hard to stay on top of recycling? Why not just buy products from unitedbyblue.com? They remove 1 pound of trash from the ocean for each product that they sell. Unitedbyblue.com. Just like it sounds. United BYBLU.com. Next up, you want to cut down on your work commute? Try pitching a work from home day to your boss as part of your company's Green Initiative program. You'd be surprised at how many roles in a company can be done from home. Now, what's up with that? I thought a lot of jobs stayed home after COVID, but then I saw that some jobs weren't allowing it. So, are you a stay-at-home job that was created because of COVID? I'm kind of interested. I kind of have a feeling that a lot more people are at home. Cars are dirtier lately. I'm guessing because people aren't washing their cars because they're not going out. They're working from home. And the SoCal traffic still doesn't seem like it's ever gone back to pre-COVID congestion, but let me know. Next up, farmers markets are a great place to reduce your carbon footprint and help your local economy out at the same time. Everything is made locally, and so you get products that are much fresher than your local grocery store. Giving someone a gift in a gift bag, don't write their names or a personalized note directly on it. People often reuse gift bags for future gift giving, especially when they don't have anything written directly on them. Exactly. I've done that for many years. So they can recycle the bag. Also, you know what's a cute gift wrap paper? If you get funnies in your newspaper, the colored funnies, if you're wrapping up a kid's gift, the newspaper funnies is a unique gift wrap. And then for adults, you can just use the black and white newspaper print. But also foil paper. I don't know how many gifts I've wrapped in foil paper and newspaper with a bow or ribbon. And people really remember it, and it is somewhat unique and saves on the environment as well. I've been doing that for years, for decades. Forgot about that. Next up, stop spending arts and crafts money or arts and crafts time with the toxic paints. Make your own. Simply mix 1 cup of salt, 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of water, some food coloring. Really? I'll read it again. 1 cup of salt, 1 cup of flour, and a cup of water, and food coloring makes paint? Well, that's interesting. I might try that with kids someday when they come over. Next up, did you know it takes 37 gallons of water to make 1 roll of toilet paper? Not only are you wasting paper when you overuse toilet paper, but you're wasting water as well. Switching to a bidet or zero waste toilet paper brand are much better options. Did you know that old Parmesan cheese lids fit mason jars perfectly, and together they make a perfect drink holder for warm spring days? Simply place a Parmesan cheese lid on top of a mason jar and use the holes to keep your straw in place. And when you're done, close up the lid for easy refrigeration. I'm not sure about that one. If you had to wash your clothes in warm water, try to do so at 30 degrees Celsius or above, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, and this temperature uses around 40% less energy and will save you an extra $18 every year. Next up, did you know that 40% of power used in a typical office building is from lighting? You can help reduce this number in your office by switching off the lights, especially at night, opening the blinds more during the day, and or installing motion sensors throughout the building. That's a good idea. I'm going to stamp quietly. Stamp pages that we've read tonight, so I know where to start off next time. I love these stampers. This one says scanned. pages that we've read.